How's it going, everyone? This is the next video in my series on Genuine Origami by Jun Maekawa. The theme of the last fold, which was the squirrel, was to show you a base. In that video, we make a fish base. I touch on it a little bit, though Jun says a lot more in the book. Once again, please find the book on archive.org. It will not let me link it in the description yet. Or you can DM me. I will send you that book to follow along with. In this video, we're going over arguably the most important base, which is the bird base. You'll see I've already started on the model. The video wasn't coming out how I liked it, so I'm just giving a redo. Anytime you see this shape in a crease pattern, by the way, hopefully you'll get good enough to look at crease patterns. I certainly am not good enough to look at crease patterns. This means a petal fold is going to happen, which is basically what the bird base is doing one big petal fold. What's a petal fold? I'll explain further. But we're going to do some pre-creases real quick to do the bird base. Once again, I'm using Kami. There is a color change in this model. The inside of the box will be the color on the inside of the bird base, and the outside of the box will be the color on the outside of the bird base. So I want the inside of my box to be white. I want the outside to be green. So that's how we're going to fold this. And in order to make the bird base show as such, here's what we're going to do. For the color you want on the outside, actually, nope. For the color you want on the inside, we're going to, nope, once again, sorry. So sorry. Color you want on the outside, we are going to fold valley folds on these diagonals. I'm going very quickly on that because you should be able to fold on diagonals now. Once again, just going over pre-creases I've already made. That's why I'm folding so quick. Feel free to pause me at any point. Then we're going to turn over and do some valley folds both horizontally and vertically. Now, what is a base? You've heard me say bird base, you've heard me say fish base, and if you watched my video on the mouse, you've heard me say water bomb base. Well, a base is basically a very common starting point in origami. It's a shape that you can make a square paper into, that you can then iterate off of to make all sorts of new models. It's kind of like a starting point, you know. So the bird base is where the crane and flapping bird start off of, and those are two very, very popular models. And as such, these are two very, very popular bases because you can make so much more off it. Like this bird base, today we're going to make a box instead of a bird. I'll show you some more bases really quick. If you were to want to make a square base, a water bomb base, you would take these diagonals and you would basically, well, here, I'll do the easiest way. You fold it in half, and then you would fold over in half, opening up this flap and squashing down toward made a triangle. And then you would do the same, squashing down to make another triangle, and that is your water bomb base. And I'll make a water bomb tutorial as well. For all those who don't know, square base is this but inverted. So if you make a water bomb base and pop it inside out, you'll get the square base. Or otherwise, you can fold it in half into a triangle and do kind of the same thing. Fold it in half again, open that flap, squash it down into a square, hence why it's called a square base. Fold this down, squash that down into a square. And this is kind of a precursor to the bird base. The bird base involves a new type of fold that I don't think has been done yet in the book, called a petal fold. Basically, in a petal fold, you're opening up a closed flap and then squashing the outsides of the flap inside. See how the paper already wants to do that because I pre-creased it inside to create a new shape. Obviously, I'm going to show you the pre-creases for doing that, but that's what it's going to look like when we get that done. So, I know that looks pretty scary. How do we get the paper to obey our will? I'll show you. It's through pre-creasing. To pre-crease for a bird base, we are going to take the open flap and move that edge to the middle. middle crease here, made by the other diagonal. And then you want to crease sharply. You do that with the other flap. And then, as you saw, we have to fold up. You want to fold along where these flaps meet to find that edge to fold up on. As you do more petal folds and as you kind of understand what a petal fold is, these pre-creases may become unnecessary, though they're always recommended. So now that you've made your pre-creases, open this flap up along that line you made. Make sure to run your finger all along that line so you know it stays on that line. As you fold it up, you'll see the lines you made. Usually the bottom will obey a little better because it's still the valley fold that you made it, whereas up here the paper is now reversing these folds into a mountain fold, so it may need a little help guiding it into shape. It's okay. I always just like to run my fingers along creases I've made to kind of pop them back out and get that desired shape. And that's half of a bird base. Bird base is just 2 of these little diamonds. Those are the wings to a crane or a flapping bird if we were going to make one. I've already pre-creased the other side, so for the purposes of brevity, I'm just going to go ahead and make my petal fold. There we go. Awesome. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to put these 2 flaps we just made with the petal fold down. So that's 1 wing down. That's another wing down. And then we're going to pre-crease for the box. The way that we're going to do that is we're going to take these little flaps here. We're going to put them to this little center point. You see where this fold meets this fold? That's where we're going to put these corners. So you're going to want to pre-crease this on all sides, so doing it right here. Make sure you crease really hard. Anytime you're pre-creasing, the idea is the sharper we can make that crease, the better, because it'll help the paper guide itself to where it's supposed to go. Then we're going to take the tip and fold it up to that point as well. So we've done that on one side of this bird base. Go ahead and do it on all 3 more sides. So you can fold this over, fold this back, and do that once again. You're just going to want to repeat that 3 more times. If your paper ever pokes out at you like this, by the way, it's not the end of the world. You didn't do anything wrong. Just open it back up, stick your finger in there to keep it closed, and kind of massage it back into place. Mine's doing that to me a lot just because I'm trying to go quick. And if you think it'd be better if I slowed down, if you think it'd be better if I pointed out which step I'm on, please let me know. I would love feedback on these videos. I'm making these videos because I'm recommending this book to all of you. And I don't want anyone to get stuck and disheartened. I think doing this book front to back, start to finish, is the best way to improve the skill. So it's number 2. Let's get started on number 3. And up. Cool. Number 3. Let's start again on number 4. Once again, every time I'm folding over, I'm also folding that back. And you'll see that the pre-creases look like they've already been made. It's just good to reverse those pre-creases because they are going in both directions with our final step here. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to do a mountain fold that takes this point to that point. And what is a mountain fold if not a valley fold in reverse? So what I like to do is just valley fold it and then turn it over so it is now a mountain fold. And then we're going to open up 1 single wing flap here. And then we're going to valley fold this in half. I'm wrong. We are going to mountain fold this in half. There we go. Should be left with a shape like this. Now we're going to do a pre-crease and kind of an odd swivel, so please don't get frightened. We're going to take this edge and make it line up with this pre-crease right here. So at a 45-degree angle, we're going to fold this edge down. And now we're going to open that back up. Now what we're going to do looks a little odd in the book, but basically we're going to open this up and we're going to make it so that this is a mountain and this is a valley, basically pushing this little triangle into the paper. And while we do that, we're also going to open up this flap so that it lays flat. So just stick your finger behind it and open it up. And you'll see here, this is kind of the shape we're left with. So let me do that again. We had this closed flap here. We pre-creased it so it has that natural zigzag to it. We're basically making it so that one layer zigzags in while this other layer stays up, and that naturally opens up this diamond shape where half of it is being covered by this flap. That's one of the more confusing steps, and that's the whole reason I'm making these videos. If anyone needs me to go back over that, I will straight up remake this whole video. I do not like this model very much. I don't really have a use for a shallow partition box, but I will remake it to explain to somebody. Next, we're taking this tip. We're going to make it meet that point right there. The edge meets the paper. I mean, where the edge meets that center line. So just put your tip there. And then we're going to valley fold this in half, but in such a way that this strip of paper goes into this little compartment we've made. So fold it under, close it back up. Next, we're going to tuck this inside as well, and that's going to lock everything in place. So that way, I think he actually wants us to tuck it in here. So just kind of fold it down, then worm it into this pocket like so. And now that's locked in place. That is not going to move. Next up after that, we are going to do the same on all of these other corners. So you'll get to see me do the confusing move another time here. There's my pre-crease. Next, I'm going to open this up, push this strip of paper in, and squash this part of the paper flat like that. Then we're just going to make our 3 folds to lock it. Just come on here. Gosh, I get so nervous recording. It makes my hand shake a little. Here we go. Bam. And then fold this down to lock. I'm just gonna see if that being in that pocket is necessary, because the book doesn't mention putting it in the pocket, it just says tuck in. It'd be nice if the pocket's not necessary. Either way, and when you're done with it, feel free to just fold it down here, because it doesn't really matter where it goes. It's easier to be out of your way. Once again, gonna do the maneuver. Again, open that puppy up, put that portion of the paper down and in there, squash down, fold in, fold over, tuck in, and tuck in. There we go. Then final round of that maneuver. Now we're left with this little thing. It's like, oh my goodness. Straight up a guy, some dude. How are we gonna make this a box? I definitely do think tucking in helps because this one's way cleaner. These ones are trying to open up. Let me just go ahead and tuck these bad boys into their pocket real quick. There we go. That's what I love about origami is it's a practice in dexterity as well. Okay, all tucked in. Now, what we do is we pull these corners apart just a little bit. And you'll see as if just by magic, it's going to start opening up into that box. Just pull apart until you get that box-like shape. Maybe reinforce those creases. And just like that, you'll have your box. What are you going to do with it? Me personally, not a thing. I have nothing to put into this. It's too small for anything, but that's it. That is your box. Good job. End of video.